We often think of Tony Stark as a brilliantly smart philanthropist.
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
But did you know there exist multiple universes where Tony Stark is nothing but a crazy lunatic on the loose? You see, the baddest villains from different corners of the multiverse have all teamed up to cause chaos across different universes. And now it is up to Robbie Reyes, Deathlock, and Earth's 818 Tony Stark, who is also the Ant-Man of this reality, to assemble a team of capable Avengers from across the universe. And while they have been successful so far, an important member still remains missing.
What are you doing?
Having a little celebratory celebration. Sorry, there's not enough to share, Locke.
There's nothing to celebrate. We're not finished yet.
818 Tony Stark then quickly reminds Deathlock they have successfully recruited the Star Panther, the strongest Black Panther who's ever lived, the angriest, punchiest Thor, the god of fists, an army of Steve Rogers, and the most badass Air Force the multiverse has ever seen, full of Carol Corps.
Omni Avengers assemble. I'll drink to that.
You're wrong. There's one last pillar left.
One last? Oh no.
Yes.
You can't mean...
The one and only.
No. Anybody but him.
It soon dwells upon 818 Tony Stark that their team of Avengers is incomplete without the founding pillar, Tony Stark. And this is where our story takes off, with Ghost Rider, Deathlock, and 818 Tony Stark journeying across the multiverse to find the final piece to complete their League of Avengers. And as we follow them, we quickly come across an Iron Man who clearly has not put down the bottle of whiskey in a long time.
What the hell do you people want with me? Leave me alone.
Stark, calm down. We're the good guys. We're here because we need your help.
Bull crap. You can't help. No one can help. They've stolen the future. And I couldn't stop it. God help me, I couldn't.
Seeing Tony Stark in a state of drunken panic, 818 Tony Stark offers his help, or at least tries to.
Stark, take my hand. You're in no condition to fly. Stark, you're going to... Stark!
But it's too late as Iron Man crashes and goes up in flames, leaving Tony Stark and the rest at a loss of words.
Wow.
Who would have guessed?
What's that?
That there was a Tony Stark out there, even more messed up than me.
Wasting time. Let's go.
Are we sure this is really necessary? A Tony Stark?
Seeing their plan go up in flames, like the drunken Tony Stark, 818 Tony Stark shares his 2 cents on recruiting an Iron Man. In his view, Tony Stark is just a messed up drunk fool, and he believes that their team of Avengers will be better off without someone like Tony Stark.
I see the roads that must be traveled. Need a Stark. Won't hold together without him. The old writer is right. We have to keep searching for the ultimate Tony Stark. Unless you're saying you...
Hold that thought. Right, sure. A lot of Starks in existence. I mean, how hard could this be, right?
Shortly after that, 818 Tony Stark, Deathlock, and Robbie Reyes arrive at the junkyard where they're supposed to meet Tony Stark.
He worked here for years, kept to himself. He was a builder, best I'd ever seen, best anybody'd ever seen. He made things out of other people's trash.
Hearing the man sing Tony Stark's accolades, the group is filled with hope. However, their hopes are quickly shattered as they meet Tony Stark, but...
Folks thought he was some kind of witch, so they... Well, it's just a damn shame. I feel like he was awful close. I feel like he was gonna do it, all by himself, like Tony Stark was gonna save the world.
It's a nightmare that never ends. I guess I'll drink to that.
On the quest to find the perfect and the ultimate Tony Stark, the gang travels to space. As it turns out, Tony Stark in this universe is too big for any planet. Having come across another dead end, 818 Tony Stark really starts to wonder. On one world, he's burned as a witch. On the next, he's transferred his mind into a robot body too big to fit on any planet.
Let me get this straight. You want to save the Earth? Who gives a damn about the Earth?
You figured they'd look like molehills when you were standing in the clouds, didn't you, Tony?
What's that?
Nothing. This one's another dead end. Let's keep going. Coming across another brilliantly insane Tony Stark, 818 Tony Stark is now hopeless about finding the pillar that their team of Avengers need. Okay, we find at least 30 Tonys who use their suits of armor as robot bartenders, another 24 who flew into the sun, whether on purpose or by accident, who knows, around 50 in catatonic states, and more than I could even count who'd gone stark raving mad. God, did I just make a pun? Clearly, I'm the worst of the lot. But then again, there's also this guy. The crew then comes across a Tony Stark that is hiding in a cave and believes he is being held as a captive.
I can't talk. I'm too busy. Too much work to do. Gotta get it right. Gotta finish the suit. Use it to escape the cave.
818 Tony Stark takes a look around and gently reminds Tony Stark about the many suits lying across the cave. What about all these suits you've already built?
None of them were perfect. Has to be perfect or it won't work. Captors will kill me. I'll never see the future. The one in my dreams. I really want to see the future. Just have to build the perfect suit. Just have to make it perfect in every way. Can't try until then. Can't risk it. Just wait until it's perfect.
But as it turns out, Tony Stark's captors have long been dead. The man in front of the dispatched crew is yet another lunatic with big dreams. I'd say his captors have been dead for at least 10 years. I don't believe he's the one. What do you say, Ant-Man? I'd say this one might be onto something. Maybe it's best if all the Tonys stay in their caves. But Deathlock doesn't have it. He tries to persuade 818 that there must be a Tony Stark, capable of fighting the evil forces that threaten the multiverse.
The masters of evil are murdering tomorrows. That hurts the futurists most of all. But in a multiverse of infinite possibilities, there must be.
818 Tony Stark is on his verge of patience, and no amount of alcohol can sway his mind to endure this torture. This is Tony Stark we're talking about. You can throw your infinite possibilities out the window. One more, Deathlock. I'll do this one more time, and then I'm coming back and joining my pal here in his cave. After being faced with an ultimatum, the team finds themselves at Stark Repair, their last lingering hope of finding a worthy Tony Stark. As 818 Tony Stark ventures inside alone, he encounters a frail old man. It then dawns upon him that the man lying in front of him is Tony Stark, who has been reduced to the vulnerabilities of aging.
Didn't think anybody remembered I was still out here. You bring something by in need of fixing?
You might say that. Was that what you did here? You fixed things?
All my life. Always said if it could get broken, old Tony Stark could fix it. Guess my own bum ticker was the one exception. What was it you need fixing, young fella?
Nothing that important. You just rest, old-timer.
Nah, I should get up and fix that tea.
It's alright. I've got some right here.
Oh, none of that for me. Takes a clear head to fix things. So many broken things, you know.
And for the first time in his journey across the multiverse, 818 Tony Stark finds himself genuinely admiring a fellow Tony Stark.
Hey, you wanna know my secret to fixing broken things? It takes one to know one.
Then I guess you know me.
I do, and I know why you're here. Least I hope I do. I do believe folks around here will soon be needing somebody new to fix all them things that are always breaking. I was hoping you'd come, son. It ain't much, but it's yours. If you... if you just promise to always...
In a cruel twist of fate, moments after 818 Tony Stark finds admiration for the elder Tony Stark, he takes his last breath, leaving behind a legacy in the beloved workshop that is now entrusted to the capable hands of 818 Tony Stark.
I'll do my best, old man.
With a newfound purpose, 818 Tony Stark heads back to his friends carrying numerous finished bottles in his arms.
Robbie, not my name anymore. Do me a favor, will ya? Open your trunk.
And then 818 Tony Stark breaks the cycle of his alcoholism by throwing his beloved vodka and whiskey in the back of Robbie Reyes' car, which is surprisingly connected to hell. And after that, Tony goes on a journey of self-improvement, becoming sober.
I send a bunch of perfectly good liquor straight to hell. And then I detox for the next couple days as we go screaming between universes in a demonic hot rod. I don't recommend the experience, but I tell ya, I'd still take it every time, over the hells I've seen.
We now follow the gang back to the cave where paranoid Tony Stark is still working on his suits. However, unlike last time, 818 Tony Stark tries a different approach with him.
It's alright, Tony. I'm here with you.
But we can't. The suit's not perfect. It has to be perfect or they'll kill us.
Nobody's gonna hurt you. Trust me, we'll do this together. You don't have to stay here anymore. You don't have to be perfect to step outside and live. None of us ever are. Far from it. If you don't believe me, well, I've got some friends I'd like you to meet.
And from here, 818 Tony Stark takes him back to Stark Repair, where other Tony Starks have gathered to work out on their issues. Not long after that, more Tony Starks from the multiverse join 818 Tony Stark at Stark Repair, because when it comes to fixing broken things, it takes one to know one.